Hello, everyone, and welcome to Off the Record with Judah
and Kirk.
Today, we are going to be diving back into the world of DC. Specifically, we're going to be diving into Absolute Wonder Woman and a bit of Tom King's Wonder Woman run, which was quite exciting to read. Both of these were enjoyable. I don't know, Kirk, did you enjoy the reading experience of these?
I enjoyed reading both of these combined more than some of the other things that we've read. But we'll get into more of the details of that as we go.
Yeah. So we're going to start off today with Absolute Wonder Woman. And we're going to start off with the first arc, which is titled The Last Amazon, and takes up the first 7 issues of the run. So we're diving into the Absolute universe. Basic idea being, Absolute world is we get the same character in a much harsher reality where they didn't have maybe the same things that they had in the other universe. Like Bruce Wayne doesn't have money, Superman doesn't have a family, and in this, we get Wonder Woman, and she doesn't grow up in paradise. She grows up in hell, very literally, which I really enjoyed that kind of twist to it. So when we dive in here, we dive into Gateway City, and there's these reporters, and they're reporting this massive thing that's just appeared over their city, which we later learn is called the Harbinger. Mm-hmm. And then Wonder Woman shows up and defeats all of the Harbinger's minions and defeats the Harbinger as well. And then she goes to a beach and sees Steve Trevor, who's like, "Hey, it's great to see you. The military's not really happy you're here."
Yeah.
And so they then go and talk to, I think he's a general, maybe? I don't remember, probably a general or something like that. I really enjoyed it because you see all of the military men around him are taller and bigger than him, and they're all kind of cowering to him. And she's about the same size as them, and she's not. Yeah. I enjoyed that scene. It was fun. But then we see a monster shows up that is pretty scary called the Tetracide, which, is very, very, very dangerous, can kill you in several different ways, and
really cool looking.
Really, really cool looking. Very awesome. So Wonder Woman goes to fight it, is not very successful, and in order to keep it from killing all the people, she broadcasts a message, which tells the people that they should, stay inside, wear blindfolds, so on, so forth, so it doesn't kill them, and casts a spell that deafens the city. Mm-hmm. And then she
because it has like a siren's call type.
Yeah, it has a siren's call type thing. It's just a really interesting monster that go read the book, go see what it does, go see what it looks like. Words don't really do the art justice in this story, especially in some of the designs.
In a lot of cases, you can watch our videos without actually having read the comic watch the Star Trek video or whatever. For this one, you should just go.
You should just go pick it up and read it.
Really good. Usually, probably you would still want to go read it anyway. Like, if you're watching our videos, you should probably be reading and watching the things. Yeah. But specifically for this one, Judah is so right. It was really cool. You can't really explain what it was in words. You just have to go look at the images on the page.
It strikes you with awe. It's so cool. But she's looking to cast a spell to help regrow her arm, because she does, when she's fighting the thing, we discover that she does not have an arm because back in the day she grew up in hell,
She wasn't fighting the thing, she was fighting the Tetracide.
She was, okay, yeah. Great joke. So she's fighting the Tetracide. We discover that back in time, Steve Trevor washed up in hell, which is pretty crazy. And she saves Steve and brings him to her mother's house. Her mother is Cersei, who is maybe one of the most iconic Wonder Woman villains is Cersei. Yeah. Especially from Justice League, the animated series and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Again, I don't know anything about anything DC, but I knew that, yeah.
Yeah. And Cersei being her mom, that's a whole interesting thing. So he washes up in hell. They kind of have a little bit of back-in-time adventure in hell together where they are fighting this crack, and it's kind of very humorous and fun, and you get to see them kind of flirt with each other and start to kind of... Diana really gains an interest in him. He's a little ambivalent, obviously. Thinking he's died and washed up in hell is kind of an emotional roller coaster, but it's very kind of fun. And then it gets really serious when she talks about sending him back to the real world, when she's looking through one of her mother's spell books, and she finds a spell which can do that, but it requires a sacrifice. Kind of like, if you recall, Darkseid, who chopped off his own arm to use the miracle machine, and then he ended up sacrificing his son. Kind of like that kind of principle, which we've seen a little bit earlier. But she gives up a warrior's arm to send him back, and so that's how that happens. We see that she doesn't have an arm. She needs to make a spell to get her arm back. So they go to this witch shop, which I thought was really funny, because it's like, oh, here's the modern Wiccan witchcraft stuff, and she's like, oh, I have all the hard stuff to get. Like, this is just naturally around hell. I just need to go here to get, like, the things
basic plants that are, like, around Earth, essentially. Yeah.
It was kind of funny. But then she casts her spell on, gets her arm back, and then goes to fight the Tetracide again. And this time, we see her use one of her... I think she has 3 lassos we see? Yeah, I think that's right. She has 3 lassos we see. She uses one of her lassos to transmogrify herself into Medusa to turn the Tetracide into stone, which was pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
Very awesome. And then Steve goes out there to try to get her to return back to normal, which I also thought was a very well done scene. And he successfully does that. We get a little bit of, yay, she saved Gateway City. This was awesome. And then she's dragged back into hell by Hades, who's not very happy that she left.
Not really.
Not really happy at all.
Because this is very much like the Hades from Greek myth. Like, I know a lot of the stuff is, but, like, this is without much creative license. This is just, like, the Hades that we all know and hate from Greek mythology, right? And so he's kind of mad about all this happening.
Oh, yeah. He does not like it. People entering or exiting his domain without his permission, if that makes sense.
Yep.
So she defied a god, which did not make him happy, and it's very interesting kind of court situation where he's like, you did all these things, why are you doing this? This is dumb. You belong here. He has her mom, Cersei, captured, and is very curious about her nemesis lasso, which is, again, another one of the lassos. I don't know what that one does. They kind of talk about it a bit. It's an interesting thing that how it got created with it having, like, the blood of Prometheus and, you know.
There's, like, a whole aside about the creation of this. Because there's a lot of places in this story that it kind of goes back and forth between present and past. And so this is one of the moments where it's like, and here's all the history about this one lasso.
Yeah, you kind of, like, slowly progress the story forward. And then every time they're like, oh, I want to explain what that means, you go back in time to explain what that means.
Yeah.
So we see a thing where Diana's a kid again. And Persephone, Hades' wife, comes to see her. And if you know anything about the myth of Persephone, you probably see where this story is going, which is rather interesting.
I'm so glad I went to a classical school in middle school and high school. Because it's just like, oh, I know what's happening now.
Yeah, exactly. So she eats a pomegranate. Pomegranate, is that right?
I think so.
Yeah, okay, pomegranate. I'm pretty sure.
Now you're making me doubt myself.
Yeah, and then we cut back to the present, where Diana is fighting a chimera in front of Hades and Persephone. But she beats the chimera, and then she kind of condemns Hades and his cruelty, and he's like, well, you know, I can't let you go, even though you've beaten all these things I've thrown at you. And she's like, well, I actually, you know that thing you did with your wife where you cursed her? The same thing you cursed her with, I ate of. So I can actually go live in the real world for 11 out of the 12 months of the year, and only have to be here for 1 month.
It's the exact same curse that his wife has. So she's like, ooh, take that. Like, this is, you did this, and you can't break your rules. And there's actually a moment where she's like, either you break your rules, but you lose your wife, or you keep your rules, but you lose me. Yeah. Which one are you going to do there?
Yeah. And so he has to keep his rules, and she goes free to the world, but she gets to reunite with Cersei back in hell, 1 month out of the year.
Yep.
And that's kind of where we end things off. We do get a little backup of, like, child Diana, which is done by artist Dustin Nguyen. That are little fun stuff. Creative team. Let's give them credit. This is written by Kelly Thompson, with art primarily by Hayden Sherman, and issues 6 and 7, I'm maybe going to pronounce this wrong, by Mattia de Ulis. And then the little Diana backup stories are done by Dustin Nguyen on art. Mm-hmm. So,
and you can tell that the art is a little bit different in the first 5 versus the last 2.
You can.
Not that any of the art is bad, actually. All the art is really good.
Fantastic.
I love how... Is it time to get into my thoughts?
It's time to get into your thoughts.
So I love how... Literally the first note I have is how Greek the art is. And this is for 1 through 5, right? It's very obviously a Greek-inspired...
Oh, yeah.
Piece of art.
110.
Or pieces of art. I don't know how you would refer to it, but... all the panels are just like so Greek, and I love it, right? Again, from, classical education perspective, it's like that really hit me just right off the bat. Another thing is just that the story is very compelling. Yeah. Like I mentioned before that I don't like the Absolute Superman.
Yeah.
And how like in that one it's like going back and forth, and I love how the past moments are kind of explaining the present moments in both. But it just kind of seemed jumping around a lot.
Yeah, and disconnected.
Yeah, but in this one, it was the exact same thing. Like, it was jumping around a lot. And it was to explain things that are going on in the present. But it was so much more meaningful and impactful.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was, even just all the stuff that's happening in the past, it's just a good story.
Oh, yeah.
It tells you a lot about Diana, right? Another thing that I noted is that this is just... exactly what I was looking for in Absolute Superman.
Yes.
The world is screwed up, so what can be done just little by little, bit by bit, to make it better?
Yeah.
It was, as I mentioned, structured very similarly to Absolute Superman. Yeah. Where I was hoping and expecting for it to be, make things better little by little, bit by bit. But in this one, it actually did that.
Yeah.
It actually follows through with kind of what your expectation would be for it. I also mentioned the parallel stories. This one handled it better, and... there's even a page early on that briefly exemplifies this idea of slowly making things better. Cersei is raising Diana in hell, and their abode slowly morphs from one panel to the next. This dingy hollow in a rock turns into a cozy home.
Yeah.
Especially, I noticed in the background of some of these panels was like a little bookshelf. Before, at the very beginning, it was empty. Then it was like a pile of books. Then it was like there was a slight little bookshelf structure going on that slowly... was like better and better and better until this turned into an actually like enclosed home, and then it's like the lighting is a little bit more cozy and nice and like welcoming while this bookshelf is getting better and better and better until it's you're in hell, but like it looks like it's kind of nice and cozy and like you could raise a family in there, right?
Yeah.
And that's just exactly what I'm looking for in this universe of everything has gone to shit. How do we make it better?
Yeah.
And you can only make it better little by little, bit by bit. Absolute Superman's just like,
Absolute Superman's
don't care.
Like,
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
We're going to go do whatever the heck we want. But in Wonder Woman, Absolute Wonder Woman, they're just like, okay, we have this really, really interesting premise. How can we use this with the story that we do want to tell, but also for the overarching story of this universe, with wherever they're going to lead to... I assume this universe is going to end at some point, and
maybe
kind of
hopefully
everything get
soon.
merged together because like this is the bad universe, right?
Yeah.
So like, how do we get there? And it has to be by making things better.
Yeah.
Absolute Superman again ignores this whole thing, and so this one was just so refreshing.
It was. I think everything we complained about Absolute Superman for quite a while, complaining about it, is fixed in here. I love the character of Diana, and it's just like the relationship dynamics are great between her and her mom, between Steve and her. Just like every interaction seems like genuine and real. And I can't like we were saying earlier, it's kind of hard to describe the art in here. You just got to go pick it up. Like I can't just say that, recommend this book enough. There's some books that we can just summarize on here and I'll be like, oh, you should go read that. This one, go read. Now, I think we both agree that this is a fantastic story.
Yeah, 100%. If you're going to read any of them, read this one.
Read this one, 110. All right. Well, we also read the third volume of Tom King's Wonder Woman called Fury. And, Kirk, would you like to explain to us what the fuck happened?
No. Because I don't know what happened. And by the way, neither does Judah. So that should tell you how little I understood in this one. It actually kind of pissed me off when I was reading it. I'm like, what is going on here? And that's, why at the very beginning I was like, not sure how to rate the combination of these two, because this one's just so bad, but Absolute Wonder Woman is just so good. No. So, again, there's like a lot of like jumping back and forth between things happening in this one. It just makes what's about to happen so much more difficult. So, here's what I have we in parentheses, because he sent me a couple of notes on this too, think is the gist. Steve is dead. So sad, I know. Diana
I think he's dead.
Big sad. I'm pretty sure he's dead.
I think he comes back at the end. I'm not 110% sure, but he might.
Okay. Well, at the beginning of this one, Steve is probably dead because she goes to hell to find him.
Yes.
So the whole story revolves around kind of that. Like, what's happening with that? What does Diana do about that? And here's what I said about Judah texting me a couple of notes. So this is what Judah texted me about what he thought happened in this. Quote, so here's my understanding of what happened in Wonder Woman Fury. Episode 14. By the way, there's like a little tilde mark over the U in Fury. I'm not sure why that is, but
don't ask. It was a late night.
Clearly he doesn't know how to text. So this story is just Diana grieving Steve's death, dealing with loss, and being a mother, which is set up right at the very beginning. She makes a sand baby. I'll go into that more later. The Amazons are exiled from America, and this guy named the Sovereign, and we'll get into who that is already positioning himself as a tyrant, right? Diana is trying to decide, like, okay, now what should I do about this? We learn eventually, this is now not Judah, we learn eventually that the Sovereign is the one that the Sovereign is the one who kills Steve, right? So she's, gonna figure out how to go after him, essentially. So she, being Diana, goes to hell to say goodbye to Steve, but then comes back up, sends the Wonder Girls to cripple the Sovereign, while she's caring for her new sandborn baby. In this one, I was kind of confused about the Wonder Girls. I thought at first this was like a time jump thing because of the narration, which kind of is. We'll get to the end. But the narration is coming from a future perspective, and so it seems like, okay, whenever I see this stuff with the Wonder Girls, this is something that happens, like, in the future of Diana making this baby, and so I was thinking, this is, like, the grown-up baby, because I don't know very much about the Wonder Girls. So
there are three Wonder Girls. So there's Donna Troy, and we're not going to talk very long about Donna Troy, because it's so convoluted, and it will literally take me an hour, and I need a freaking board, like, I need, like, a conspiracy board to explain Donna Troy to any normal human being. There's the more straightforward one, which is Cassandra Sandsmark. So she's the daughter of Ares with a human woman. She's taken in by Diana, trained to be Wonder Girl. That one makes sense. Then there's Yara Flor, who is, I think I'm remembering this correctly, from the Amazon, not in Amazon. She is from the Amazon. And Wonder Woman took her under her wing after she had an adventure there, and they stopped, like, some savage tribe from killing tourists or something.
Yeah.
So that's basically the Wonder Girls. Unless there was a fourth one.
I don't remember. Okay, so there's a little bit about who the Wonder Girls are, but because I didn't know that already, I was like, is this like a time jump type thing? But no.
This is in the future of when she made the baby, but in the past of when the story is getting told.
Yeah. So, can you tell that we don't know what the hell is happening? In the next issue, we get some context about who the Sovereign is. The Sovereign's hand in the development of America and all that, right? They're kind of this, like, background, like, force that is the real power behind America. Like like all those conspiracies about, like, the Illuminati or
the deep state.
Yeah, or the what's the one I'm looking for? The stonemasons, like all that, except this one is real in this universe. So, yes. Judah in like 3 sentences, who's the sovereign?
So, who do you think won the Revolutionary War? It was not George Washington. It was the sovereign, and he was the secret king of America, and his children have been the secret kings of America for generations after generations. They don't influence direct politics, but they make money from the politicians, and whenever the president does something they don't want him to do, they make them change that. That's my understanding. Because...
So it's the deep state.
Oh, yeah, and one of them assassinated JFK back in the day.
Well, we already knew that somebody pulling the strings in the government assassinated JFK, so that's not very far out there.
So that's basically who the sovereign... I don't know if it's one guy or if it's one family line, because... Okay...
I think it's the one guy.
I don't think it is, though.
But
because there's like he looks different.
I think it might
be. He could be aging, but at the same time, I feel like it's like several generations.
Here's what I think it is.
Okay.
This guy clearly lives a long time because he's obviously been around a long time. Just look at him.
Yes.
But also, kind of what his dialogue kind of alludes to that.
Yeah.
Also, he's around in the far-ish future, and he's already old. Like,
he's around in 10+ years.
Yeah, and he's like old already. So to be going even
I think
farther,
he's been the sovereign at least since the 60s.
So what I think then is that they just have like really long lifespans, like maybe 150 years each.
Yeah.
And so there's just been 3 generations of them or something like that.
Yeah.
America's about 250 years old.
So that would make sense.
Yes. So the first in the family would have been pulling the strings a little bit before America was founded. And then Revolutionary War happens, George Washington, all that. The country is founded. You know, the first guy sets things up a little bit, passes it to his kid, who is kind of around for the Civil War era, and then passes on to his kid. Yeah, then passes on to his kid, who's this current sovereign that we see.
Yes.
That would be my best guess. Again, though, we have no freaking clue.
That was so ASMR.
You're welcome. So, there's a battle between the Wonder Girls and the Metas guarding the sovereign. Clearly, I wrote this really late because I wrote Guardian, the Sovereign.
Guardian.
At first, you think that the Wonder Girls are losing, but then their coordination eventually gives them the upper hand. Diana storms the White House, where the Sovereign went to hide, because, obviously. And Diana absolutely dominates, because she's a mom and Wonder Woman. What else do you need?
That's 2 powers right there.
Exactly. So... we see a whole thing about, like, the far future that I was mentioning that's, like, 10 years in the future, which is far future for him because he looks old. And
he already looks old.
It's, exactly. The history of, like, all of this stuff that was going down and, like, being their entire wealth being crippled by the Wonder Girls and Wonder Woman behind the scenes. And also very up front at the very end.
Yeah.
When she just full-on assaults the White House. Naturally. I would do it too, honestly.
Yeah.
And there's kind of a cliffhanger ending, I think. Again, I don't know what happens, but there's a cliffhanger possibly ending where it seems like this post-apocalyptic setting, which is why I was kind of saying far future. I mean, I guess a lot can happen in 10 years too, but, like, I don't know. I'm sorry. This was just confusing. It was, honestly, if what we said earlier about if there's anything that you should read, it would be the Absolute Wonder Woman. If there's anything that you shouldn't read, it would be this Wonder Woman. Fury.
Yeah.
No.
I know that everyone... So, this is all written by Tom King. Okay, I want to give a shout out to the artist, because even though it kind of sucks, the art makes it readable. Not understandable, it makes it readable. Like, if you had a worst artist and just the dialogue boxes, you might want to jump off a bridge. But the art from Daniel Sampere... I mean,
I was already close to wanting to jump off a bridge from this one, so if the art didn't help, I'd be off that bridge.
Yes. So the art from Daniel Sampere, fantastic. That being said, I know that Tom King is a interesting writer, knowing his Batman run, knowing all of his various works. I like some of his works. I dislike others of his works. His long-form runs suck. His Batman run sucks, and so far, I read the first 2 volumes. They're better than the 3rd volume, but this run sucks. Mm-hmm. Like, 3rd volume, 4th volume, I did not understand any of it, and, like, I'm not dumb. I can read very high-concept comics. It's not high concept, it's just confusing.
Yeah.
There's a difference between...
It's like, if you've seen the second Knives Out movie, where whoever the detective is, like, explaining what's going on because it's Knives Out, and he's, like, it's so dumb, and then one of the blondes says
it's brilliant.
It's so dumb that it's brilliant, and then he's like, no, it's just dumb. That's exactly what this is. That's literally what I was thinking the whole time. And by the way, if you're thinking, Kirk, do you know how to, like, present anything? I do know how to present things. Go back and listen to the other videos. I'm, like, okay at it.
He's pretty good at it.
With this one, I can't even get my thoughts straight to, like, tell it to you. So if this seemed like it was jumping around and didn't make sense and whatever, that's just because the story didn't make sense and was jumping around. So please don't blame me.
Yes. So it was just confusing. I feel like Daniel Sampere is a great artist. They should put him with, if another writer on Wonder Woman maybe, or give him another character so he can make an iconic run and not have to be known for drawing Tom King's Wonder Woman, because so far, that's not a winning strategy.
Not going to help his career long term, I don't think.
Who knows? Maybe in the next 75 issues we'll get a turnaround, but
it's going to take a lot to fix this. Yeah. So. And it's really interesting ideas too.
Dude, I like the concept of her daughter. Like, it fits with like Batman's son Damian Wayne and Superman's son John Kent kind of ideas. I like bringing that to Wonder Woman. Yeah. And I like the incorporation of the side cast of Wonder Woman. I like even some of the cameo appearances of villains. I don't like Sovereign. Yeah. Like, I feel like they could have molded him developed him better.
Yeah. The idea of, like, who the Sovereign is and, like, this family that's pulling the strings behind the scenes. Obviously, you can do a lot with that, and others have done a lot with that, and that might be partly why this is kind of falls flat, because it's been done a million times. Yeah. But even just generally, it's a good idea that could be fleshed out in a really interesting way. It's also really interesting seeing, like, oh, how do you slowly topple this? They do the slowly toppling this in one issue.
That's true.
Literally. It's like, and so we had it, you know, we had some of our treasures stored here, and so one of the Wonder Girls went there and stole it. And then we had some other things stored here, and another of the Wonder Girls just went there and stole it. And then we also, and it's like, okay, you could make the entire story this, and still be too short of a story for this. Yes. Right? Like, this is something that should have run over multiple stories, but nope. Yeah, it's just done in one issue, right? And that's one of the main problems with this, is that it's just trying to get, like, rushed out. We had a problem with that with the regular Batman, not the absolute Batman.
The regular Batman.
Where you were saying that they're trying to wrap something up, right? Yeah. Is that what was going on here?
No, this is still going. Like,
okay, so this is just...
Yeah, according to the man himself, Tom King, it's going to be like his Batman run, where there will at maximum be 100 issue, at minimum be 75 issues. So it's not like he's in a rush. And I feel like...
So he really could have fleshed this out to be like the entire 100 issues could have been this, and that would have been one of the most interesting things I've ever read.
But no. The concepts, like, we're getting into the concepts now. The concepts are not bad. I like the incorporation of some of the characters, and the concepts are interesting. But, like, go back to the shop. The first issue where she's dealing with the death of Steve Trevor could have been an entire volume. It could have been 6 or 7 issues. Not intentional.
If you've ever read any Greek mythology, the Journey to Hell is the entire story. And it's like hundreds of pages of story on the Journey to Hell. Okay? She just swims down and she's there, and then she just swims up and she's out. You could have made that a whole thing too. Yeah. But no, and it's not going to be as long as ancient mythology is about going to hell and back. But, like, it could have been more than one panel showing her swim down and then one panel showing her swim up, right? Yeah. Especially if you're going to do Greek mythology, you should just do Greek mythology. Like an absolute one. That one's really good. They do the Greek mythology.
All right, Kirk. With us having fully discussed both of these series, let's
fully massive air quotes for Fury.
As best we can. Let's put that caveat there. Fully discuss these. Let's rate them. Let's start with Wonder Woman Fury. What are we gonna give that?
This is the worst comic I've ever read.
So far.
So,
it may get worse.
Yeah. I've not read that many comics, but for what we've read in this DC Star Trek series,
yeah,
it's just slightly below the Batman run that we didn't like.
Dying City?
Yeah, Dying City. I would put it slightly below that one. That one was also really bad, so I won't put it super far below.
What are you thinking?
But
it's worse. 5 out of 10.
So that's what I'm saying is you would have to go and actually find whatever my...
I think you were like 6, 7.
6, 7?
Yep.
Okay, then I guess I'd put it at 5. But you'll have to fact check me on exactly what the numbers are.
I would. So the art is just like so good. We saw Daniel Sampere in the All In special as well. So like he is a good artist and if the story is good, he can tell a good story too. So like I'm not gonna fault him, and because of him, I will probably rank this higher than it should be ranked. So I'll probably give it a 6 out of 10, just a little bit above.
Again, he's the only reason that we're not jumping off a bridge right now.
You're exactly right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Absolute?
5.5 for Wonder Woman Fury. Absolute Wonder Woman. I'm going to go with 9.5 out of 10. Like, I think this is, of what we've read, and I'm a big Superman fan, and I think I rated the Superman story that we did, Superwoman Rising, right? I think I rated that like a 9 out of 10. This is above that. This is like literature kind of levels of stuff. Like, this is really good. So 9.5 for me.
I honestly just agree. I think 9.5. Again, I don't exactly remember. We should probably put, like, in an actual PDF file
our rankings
so that we can look back at these.
End of the year we can do, here's all the stories we did.
Yeah, kind of like what we did with Star Trek where we ranked exactly, like, where things were.
That's so fun.
Could do the same for this, so that's something to think about. But probably about 9.5, something like this. This is probably the best one.
Yes.
Absolute Wonder Woman, the last Amazon.
It's goated. Very goated. Pick it up wherever you can find it. Barnes & Noble. Go to your local comic shop, whatever. Online. Yeah, you can order it from Amazon. Yep. So, we highly recommend it. What are we doing next episode?
Yeah, so we ended up getting a good amount of votes on the community page for this YouTube channel for between the two choices that I gave, which was Strange New World Season 2 and Lower Decks Season 1. The majority went to Lower Decks, even excluding Judah and I's votes for Lower Decks. It went for Lower Decks. So we have actually already watched 3 episodes of it, because they're 20-minute episodes each. We will actually do the whole season in one sitting. And so the next episode, DC Star Trek Nerd Out 9, will be all of Season 1 of Lower Decks. And then following that, we'll probably jump back into Strange New Worlds Season 2.
And for the DC side of things, I think we might put up a community tab for what we're going to do next in DC. We have some stuff from our list. Kirk is very interested in the Flash, so Absolute Flash will probably be an option up there. I think maybe we might throw up a regular continuity book, maybe Green Arrow, because it's getting canceled. It was just in the news, and people have been saying it's really good because people haven't been reading it, but it's supposed to be good, so maybe we check that out too.
Okay. That sounds like a really interesting idea. We will definitely try to get something up there for you guys to vote on what we should do next for that. Anyway, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, ring the bell, comment, and go watch our other videos too. And our shorts. Those actually do.
Those are good. Yeah. With that being said, good morning, good evening, and good night. God bless. We're signing off with Off the Record.